here with Anupam Govil, a partner with Avasant and one of the most knowledgeable people we've seen over the years on nearshore outsourcing and outsourcing trends in general. And the thing that we're noticing, Anupam, we've been talking about it for quite a few years, but I know you're very close to the market, is the increase of small to medium-sized U.S. businesses outsourcing their services, whether domestically or offshore, nearshore. What are some of the key drivers you're seeing from where you sit?
Yeah, I think there are many converging trends that are leading the growth in the Latin American market, and certainly the rise of the small to medium-sized businesses in terms of their propensity to outsource is one of the key factors. So there are a number of factors that are different when looking at this market as opposed to the typical Fortune 1000 companies. For these companies, first of all, they have been perhaps a bit late to outsource, but they are sort of leapfrogging some of the challenges that the bigger companies face in terms of having legacy infrastructure and the traditional software development life cycles and so on. So these businesses typically are driven by speed to market and being able to find the right skills rather than just going after the lowest cost or going after scale. So typically for the mid-sized businesses, the cost of going to, let's say, India in terms of the overheads and the management costs far outweigh the savings they could get. So they're looking at options that give them, of course, lower costs, the right skill sets, but also easier to manage closer to home, so to speak.
So that's what the nearshore advantage is right there.
Definitely, definitely. But also the other factor is that they're aggressively adopting some of the latest technology trends, whether it's cloud or mobility, or they're also leading sort of the change in the way how software is developed. Agile computing is sort of the way a lot of these companies manage their software teams. So again, Latin America suits that perfectly because it gives the same time zone interactivity. And since Latin America sort of has been a bit late to the game, I think the skill sets they have are more tuned to the current market needs.
So for small to medium businesses trying to get started, especially those companies maybe looking at Latin America, what is the process? Should they send out a bunch of RFIs? Should they start coming to the region? What's sort of the three-step principles that you would apply? Yeah,
so again, the way they procure outsourcing service providers is different than, again, the traditional Fortune 1000 approach. They typically don't go with an RFI type of structured methodology. They are looking at obviously learning more about the region and finding where these capabilities lie and what's sort of the vendor landscape. But typically they're more into the sort of the one-on-one approach. So one of the challenges I think Latin America has is, of course, it's a very diverse region and it's not homogeneous at all. The outside perception maybe it's one region, but every country here, as you know, has very different characteristics and positives and negatives. So I think what's maybe keeping them from more aggressively outsourcing is there's still a lack of sort of a single source they can go to get information as well as to connect with the right kinds of service providers.
Right.
So, I mean, we're seeing, of course, a lot more interest, and I think events like these definitely help in raising the visibility and also arranging direct peer-to-peer contacts. So that's going to help. Good,
good. So going into 2013, what is your, maybe the top 2 or 3 nearshore trends you're keeping an eye on from a big picture perspective?
Well, certainly I think we're going to see accelerated growth in Latin America, nearshore market in general. And that's going to be led by, I think, not just the call center market, which continues to grow, but to me the bigger chunk of the market is in the more high-value knowledge services as well as IT services, where companies actually developing products, software products, and supporting them, developing cloud applications, mobile applications. Big data also has a lot of opportunity here.
Sure.
So I think those are some of the areas that we should see Latin American providers pick up on. And again, with the increased visibility and increased access, I think we're going to start seeing that potential being realized even more.
Okay. Well, Anupam, always great to spend some time with you. We see each other all over the place in different countries any time of the year. So wonderful to catch up.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.